Happy VA Wednesday. So today we're going to be talking about something that you can do with VA that a lot of people don't know you can do. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a lender licensed in 48 states. Yes, I'm ranked as the #1 VA loan officer in America. I'm letting you know that so that you know the information I'm giving you is something you can trust. So what am I going to talk about? VA with a non-occupant co-borrower. You can do it, but let's talk about how. So first of all, people go, well, what the heck is that and why would I want to do that? So what we'll see sometimes is, let's say that the veteran wants to buy a house, they want to live in it, but maybe they don't qualify for the whole payment by themselves. But their parents are like, oh, I'll help, like put me on the loan with you. A lot of times people go, well, wait a second, if it's not a veteran, they can't be on. If it's, not a spouse, they can't be on. But that's not actually true. Okay. The other thing people say is they go, well, wait a second, they have to occupy. They don't. The veteran does. So here's how it works. We're just going to use John got out of the military. He wants to buy a house and he's making good money, but his debt to income's on the higher side. He needs a co-signer. Mom, Betty, is like, I want to help, put me on. Okay. Now, here's the first thing. Since Betty is not going to be living with John, there will be a down payment requirement. The zero down is only for a veteran or a veteran and their spouse, not a veteran and a parent, okay? Now, even if Betty was a veteran, okay, she would still have to put down money if she wasn't going to live in the house. That's the key. So what we're talking about is one veteran buying and someone else being on the loan that's not going to live in the property with them, okay? So you're going to be looking at putting down, I'm losing my voice. Oh no, excuse me. It's happened. Okay, woof, we got it back. Okay, so you're looking at putting down 15%. Okay, that's the first thing you need to know. The second thing is the veteran is going to have to be able to qualify for at least 50% of the payment. So with some loans like conventional, it's pretty easy where if we have someone where, let's say they make $1,000 a month, but the payment's $7,000, but they have a co-signer that makes $1 zillion, you can do that. In this case, the veteran's still going to need to be able to qualify for 50% of the payment. That's because they have a non-occupant co-borrower. Okay, really, really important. So look, is it doable? Yes, it's doable. That's the important part. You just have to know that the veteran who's living there is going to need to qualify to make at least 50% of the payment, and there will be a down payment of 15% because the other person's a non-occupying borrower. Okay, now what else? The other thing I would say is, look, we fully underwrite every single pre-approval, and I do think that's a smart thing to do. Also, you need to make sure that you're working with a lender that understands this. This is pretty niche, so you're going to hear from a lot of lenders, you can't do that with VA. And that's not accurate. You can, you just have to know what you're doing, right? And the key is, this veteran's going to have to be able to make at least 50% of the payment, and you're going to be putting down close to 15%, okay? So yeah, I would recommend a full underwrite for sure. But then the other thing is, like, look, I usually like to close everything with VA 30 days or less, but this will be considered a joint VA loan and it will go to VA for approval. Generally, we were seeing it pretty quick at about 2 days, but I had one recently that took 10 days. And the way it works is we have to get the appraisal back. We have to have every single thing on the loan done. We need the title work from the title company, then it goes to VA. So I would say if you're doing a joint VA, based on what I'm seeing right now, I would probably budget 35, maybe even 38 days just to give yourself some cushion. Make sure that appraisal is being ordered day one. Make sure you're getting all your docs to the lender so that we can get it to VA as soon as possible. But most critically, make sure you're working with a lender that knows all this, right? Because otherwise, you could think you're about to close and they could go, oh, I just found out we have to send it to VA. And you're like, what? And they're like, oh yeah, life's too short. Like, life's just too short for the drama. So yes, you can have a non-occupant co-borrower with VA. We've gone over the details multiple times. If you have questions or comments, or you want to talk about your VA eligibility and how to use it, give me a call. My team's number, and I'm on it too, it's 933-2077. You can text that number as well. I love it. We just switched to that recently, but it's really cool. So when you call, it calls me, Linda, Alyssa, and Sandy, so someone's trying to get back to you quicker. And if you text, who's ever at the phone will be responding, who's the best responder for it, and they'll identify themselves. But it's just made it so we can help clients quicker, which I think is good, because I know it's stressful buying a house, and you don't want to sit there and go, am I going to get a call back? I don't know. And also, in all fairness, when people were just texting me directly, sometimes I would miss a text. So super excited about this. Feel free to reach out, 786-933-2077. But yeah, you can do VA with a non-occupant co-borrower. It just has to be done right. Thanks for watching.